Trump's MAGA hellscape, complete with his billionaire crony and a cast of corrupt enablers who are all burning our government to the ground. And too many on our team just don't have the fight we need right now. I'm Jake Rakov, and we can't let this happen to our government and our country.
Jake Rakov wants to represent District 32 in the U.S. Congress, which includes Pacific Palisades. He is challenging 15-term incumbent Democrat Brad Sherman. And interestingly, Jake used to work for Sherman. Jake joins us now. Congratulations on the run.
Thank you for having me.
For people that may not know you, tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I am Jake Rakov. I am 37 years old. I did used to work for Congressman Brad Sherman in his D.C. office. I worked for him in 2017. I was his Deputy Communications Director. I am running for Congress because it is time for Democrats, for a new generation of Democrats to step up. I think we are seeing that one all over the country, the massive protests we saw over the weekend. It is time for a new generation of new energy Democrats to step up, and so that's why I'm here doing this.
And so we're looking at some pictures of you in the past, including with your husband and with Tom Steyer, who you used to work with as well. We worked together back then. Yes. Let's talk about Brad Sherman, though. I mean, is there a policy difference between the two of you? Is there a specific policy that you would do differently there?
No, I think we're both pretty progressive Democrats. I think I've been a progressive Democrat my whole life. He has voted that way for his whole political career, all 15 terms of it, almost 30 years now, and I don't have enough time, or ChatGPT doesn't even have enough time to go back through his voting record. Yeah. But there'll be daylight on a few things here and there. This is really an operational thing. I think a generational switch in Congress. That's why I'm running on a 3-point pledge of term limits, 5 terms, 10 years in Congress, no corporate PAC money to my campaign, and hosting a town hall in the district every month while I'm in office.
And you bring up the issue of town halls. That's something you challenged him on, that he hadn't held a town hall in 5 years,
5 years,
right?
2019.
And then you bring this up on day one, and then all of a sudden that day he announces a town hall.
Exactly. So yes, he's now scheduled an in-person town hall for the first time in 5 years. He got a new district after the 2020 census, and he has not held a town hall in this district since he's got a new one. That's unacceptable. Yeah. We need our representatives to be accessible and accountable. He has failed on both of those counts.
I mean, that indicates that at least he's taking you somewhat seriously, right?
I think so.
That he does that. Yeah.
I think he's listening to that. There is an anger in the Democratic Party of our representatives to be doing more, especially with everything going on in D.C., and he is just not. He's just become a D.C. representative.
I mean, he's been in there a long time. I grew up in his district. He was my congressman. I remember visiting him on my middle school trip, and he hands out the combs, which he still hands out, which is part of his thing because he's bald. So you talk about the idea that you would fight Trump differently. What does that mean? How would you fight Trump differently?
I think you have to be doing more. I think enough Democrats know we are in the minority right now. We do not have a lot of leverage on the federal government side, but you saw Senator Booker do his marathon speech. That resonated with so many young Democrats, especially around my age and younger, because it was actually doing something. It was putting attention on a new issue, on a way, we can actually do something. We can put our bodies in front of this. We can stand in front of those agencies that DOJ is trying to break into. We can put our bodies, quote unquote, on the line in order to get actually attention done. And right now, that's all the really good thing we have. And Congressman Sherman has been silent and absent for way too long.
Silent and absent, though. I mean, he's out there. We see him with the Pacific Palisades. He tried to impeach President Trump last time around. I mean, he is out there.
I was in his office during 2017 during that movement. Yes, I think that was a little bit ahead of the gun. I think we got ahead of our skis with that one. That was a little maybe too dramatic, I think. It's not just showmanship. It's not just social media likes and like that, but it is needing to be more accessible and empathetic to where your voters are. There's an anger in the Democratic Party right now, and it's the representatives and candidates who are matching that where they are that are going to be successful.
So how do you win this thing? Because he's won over and over again. He always has challengers. Yeah. He's had challengers from the left before. He was able to beat Howard Berman, who was a very successful congressman for many years. How do you actually beat somebody who's probably going to have a lot of establishment support?
He does. He absolutely will. This will be an uphill climb. I'm not naive enough to think about that. But I think now is the time where we are really looking at ourselves as a party about where do we want to go from here? Do we want to be the party of 1996 when he got into office and is still operating that way or not? He has $4 million in his campaign account. I'm fully aware of that is. He uses it as a boogeyman to keep people from challenging him. But I think right now in this district with everything going on, there is a want for new energy, and I've seen that in the response I've gotten in a few days.
So if you're actually in there and I guess our generation, because I'm the same age as you, is in there, what is that, how is that different? What does that actually mean? I think it means legislating from a different perspective. We came out of college right around the 2008
financial crisis, right? Congressman Sherman was in office during that time. So the idea of where our future is going to go is categorically different to where his generation saw the world going. Yeah. And they are still legislating that way of the old kind of before times of like different, we've been through how many recessions now, how many lifetime events. So I think it's just a different set of priorities, a different way you think of legislating and how you also work differently and interact with your voters.
Jake Rakov, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on the run. We appreciate it. And we've interviewed Congressman Sherman many times and welcome him back here as well. All right.